Hey, welcome to today's Daily Walk, and today we're going to talk about those powerful words in business. And we're getting ready to do a big training tonight because one of our struggles growing up as coaches, and one thing that we're seeing a lot with our coaches is that they have what's called a savior complex. They want to save everyone, and don't we all? I mean, holy cow, don't we all want what is best for the other people? But when we have that, we make an assumption in business. Number one, that your client is helpless. I remember as a kid, I'd work out at the Powerhouse, and there was this guy, I got to know him. We called him Grind 'em Out Ken. And I got to know him after this happened. And he was a big guy, muscular, and I was, I think, 15. And I found out he was on the bench press, and I walked in, and he was going really slow, and I thought, oh my gosh, this guy's in trouble. So I went and I swooped in, I took the bar from him, and whoa, man, I assumed he was helpless. That's just how he did his reps. He had about 10 more in him, and oh my gosh, thank God I was only 15, because he would have whipped me one. And then I got to know him, and we talked about muscle tension and all these things, but I just assumed. And I swooped right in. I could have gone and said, hey, how are you doing? I could have asked someone else, hey, this guy okay? I could have just kind of been there just in case that bar went down. But instead, I assumed he was helpless. Are we assuming sometimes that our clients can't use our system and process to figure out and grow through their own problems? Or are we constantly swooping in and enabling them or fighting battles that don't matter, that prevent us from fighting battles that do matter? That's huge. You're going to have people that resist you, okay? So this is the second point. First is we don't want to assume people are helpless, particularly our clients. Number two, we want to fight battles that matter. We want to fight the big wars, but if we're constantly putting out tiny fires and knitting every single person that's got a negative comment towards us, or that, people that are just pinning us, we need to go fight the Goliaths. Could you imagine if David had a lot of haters at the local level, a lot of people that just, oh man, it was this and that, who do you think you are? But he had to forego those battles to fight the big battles. So that's number two. Don't fight battles that don't matter, so you have energy, resources, and time to fight the big battles that do matter. And then enabling, number three. By me swooping in with Grind 'em Out Ken, I was enabling him. I was making his job easier. Do our clients get better from easy? Or do they get better from a coach challenging them and helping them go through the process at their pace, not the pace that you think that they should go at? So are you an effort of people pleasing, or are you being an enabler to your clients in your business and preventing them from getting better? And I remember in 2012 when I was going through some horrible things, and a divorce, and I was losing money. And, I remember my mom and dad, I'm like, hey, I need some cash. They were not enablers for me. They said, you have our love, you have our respect, you have our ears if you need to talk, but we're not enabling you. And I had to grow out of that circumstance on my own. Thank goodness, if they would have just enabled me and said, sure, son, here's a car, here's a home, let's make everything better, I would be worse off. I might not even be here today. So are we enabling our clients, or are we helping them work through at their pace? Number four, if you look at, and this kind of goes to number two about fighting the battles that don't matter. If we're trying to have the biggest and greatest impact on our clients, on the world as coaches, regardless of what type of coach we are, we need to be eagles. We need to fly and soar high. We need to set big goals. Well, here's the thing. When an eagle is flying, crows will nip at it. And they'll just nip. And sometimes an eagle will go and he'll get into it with the crow, and feathers are everywhere. And the eagle's bigger. Normally the eagle has no trouble winning that path. But there's some other eagles that are wiser. And this crow is nipping. Someone's right now, they're nipping at you, aren't they? Just nip. Some crows have the wisdom, and they say, you know what? I'm a crow. Look at this wingspan. And they expand those wings, and they go up higher. Then that crow tries to come up. That crow cannot rise to the level that they rise. It cannot get the oxygen that's necessary. It doesn't have the wingspan. So by rising above, sure, you can go and you can beat up every little crow that's nipping at you if you want to stay small. But if you want to soar big, and see the world big and have a big impact, you're gonna have to fly above the crows. You're gonna have to fly above some turkeys too. Thank goodness turkeys can't fly very high. But are you allowing yourself to grow big? Are you allowing yourself to say, you know what, crow, I'm just gonna go up a little bit. I'm gonna think bigger, and you won't be able to follow, but hopefully you can, crow. Hopefully I can teach you to follow, but it's not going to be me, ruffling your feathers and me staying at your level. That's how you can level up the crows in your life, by soaring higher. You're never going to level up a crow by coming down to its level. I hope this daily walk was beneficial for you. You guys have an amazing rest of your week.